Well, here to do my NXT Takeover review of tonight's NXT Takeover Brooklyn, the night before SummerSlam, and I don't know what to say right now. There's so many bad parts in the show, but there's so many good parts too. Well, it wasn't really bad parts, just pretty much every match had a terrible finish. Except for the women's match, but we'll talk about that later. And Corbin and Joe had a decent finish, but we'll start off with the first match on the card, which I'm going to add, why the hell did they have the Hype Bros and Enzo and Big Cass and Charlotte and all them in freaking dark matches on the show? It is going to be next week's NXT show. That's fucking dumb. I already know who won now, so thank you for giving me dark matches when people posting on Twitter anyways, and they're going to be next week's NXT show. That was genius. But the first match is Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger. Yeah. Nothing really big happened in this match. There was a few cool moves. Liger did some handspring back kick to the face. Apparently that's a signature move or something. I don't know. I've never seen him wrestle. I don't care. It was a signature move or something. Tyler Breeze did some arm trap sideways backstabber thing. He also hit the supermodel kick. But there wasn't really anything big in this match. Jushin Thunder Liger ended up winning with Tyler Breeze not even fighting back at the end. He just won with the stupid Liger bomb, which is just a running power bomb, so that was great. Genius ending there, guys. You could have made Tyler Breeze reverse the power bomb or something into a beauty shot, or maybe have him kick out of the first power bomb. I don't know. You could have done something extra, but that was whatever. Ugh. Moving on, we got the Vaudevillains. I fucking hate them. Taking on Blake and Murphy and, of course, Alexa Bliss. But, this match was boring as fuck. Nothing big happened. Besides, I guess, Murphy or Blake went for a roll-up, I guess, and they kicked out of it, and then they hit that stupid tag team move, the Whirling Dervish, because they're retarded-ass idiots from a 60s cartoon show, because they're stupid. Fuck you, Blue Pants, fuck you, Vaudevillains, fuck you. Okay, all I'm going to say is, why the hell is Blake trying to look like Alexa Bliss? I mean, that's the only thing that I have to add to this is... Okay, he starts out, him and Murphy look about the same. They're coming out, they got the same hair color, everything. They look similar. They're both wearing tights. All of a sudden, Blake turns his hair bright-ass bleach blonde like Alexa Bliss. Now, okay, I didn't think anything of it at the start. I was like, okay, whatever, he wants to switch his hair. Now he's coming out in trunks, too, like Alexa Bliss. I'm just wondering what's next. Is he going to come out in a bra next or like a top or something? I don't fucking know. But moving on the match after that, we got the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger versus the debut, Apollo Crews. This match was good. Apollo Crews, no one could touch him. Between all the freaking backflips and shit that he can do, his agility is on point. So is his power game. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's like a more athletic, flippy Cesaro almost. It's crazy, but a few spots to talk about in this match. Ty Dillinger goes to kick Apollo Crews, and Apollo Crews catches his foot, throws his foot down. Ty Dillinger throws it right back up. Super kick. That was a pretty cool spot. Apollo Crews ends up hitting all these ridiculous moves. Like, I don't even remember some of them. He hit like a standing, like running short arm clothesline thing like Dolph Ziggler does, except he's just like standing there. And his finishing move combo is a gorilla slam. Just drops him behind him into a standing shooting star press. I don't know what I think about that. I think that's pretty ridiculous that he does an extreme powerhouse move into an extreme high flyer move. I mean, it's awesome, but what's going to happen once he goes to fight Kevin Owens? Is he really going to be able to press Kevin Owens up in the air and slam him? I mean, I don't know. It was cool, though. And that's about where the show picked up, because it was complete shit up until that point. I hated it. But after that match, we've got Baron Corbin taking on Samoa Joe. And this match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Okay, at the starting, Baron Corbin didn't do shit. Okay? Samoa Joe was doing all these ridiculous submission moves. He did a flipping roll pin. Then when Baron Corbin kicked out, he held on, reversed it into a single leg Boston Crab. Then after that, he proceeded to switch it down into a crossface. And then after that, into some armbar submission. It was ridiculous. But then moving on later, Baron Corbin actually hits a move. He grapples Samoa Joe down into like a heel hold type maneuver, which was crazy. I was not expecting that. Then later in the match, he hits a spinning side slam. Like Colin Cassidy's East River Crossing. He hits one of those. And then after that, he hits a freaking super kick. So now we officially know Baron Corbin can actually wrestle. So, WWE, let him wrestle. He can actually do moves. I'm just shocked as hell right now that he can actually do moves. But if Baron Corbin can actually do moves, then let him do fucking moves. But after that, Samoa Joe reversed it into like into the Pele. So I thought I was watching Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens at that point, because super kick into Pele, that's Kevin Owens, Finn Balor right there. But it was awesome. Later in the match, Baron Corbin ends up going for the end of days. Samoa Joe blocks it. Baron Corbin hits him with a gallows pull, I guess is what he called it. Like a double arm, like choke bomb type maneuver. Goes for the pin. He has his legs stacked. Samoa Joe kicks out. The power of Joe's kick out sends Corbin up in there. He flips backwards, dropped right into the Kikina clutch, and Corbin passes out to the Kikina clutch. Awesome finish. Samoa Joe wins. Baron Corbin actually knows how to wrestle. Insane. Moving on to the next match after that, we've got by far the match of the night. No question. I'm calling it the match of the year. Sasha Banks, Bayley. Sasha Banks comes out down to the ring in this huge freaking SUV, this huge fancy Hummer type vehicle. She gets out. She's got personal security now and everything. That was crazy enough. But there was so much shit in this match. Like it's like fuck, I can't even like describe all the stuff that happened. Just to throw out a few spots, there was this one point to where Sasha went for the double knee thing in the corner. Bayley countered it and had her up on her shoulders like in an Oklahoma Slam. Then Sasha jumped up onto the turnbuckle and like grabbed Bayley's head with her legs and smashed it into the turnbuckle, which was crazy. Sasha ended up doing a top rope double knees to the stomach. She ended up attacking the hell out of Bayley's freaking hand. She freaking put it in between the steps and the ring and kicked the steps into her hand. Freaking broke her hand, basically. Then later, she ended up attacking the hand again after she done a freaking plancha over the ref onto the outside onto Bayley. She done a freaking plancha over the ref. Then after that, she runs up the ropes with Bayley's hand and goes for a freaking top rope hurricanrana type arm drag thing, but Bayley reverses it, throws Sasha to the outside. Sasha lands hard out on the floor. Bayley earlier in the match did a thing where she had Sasha up on the Tree of Woe, had her down, and then she ran up, done a springboard off the bottom rope into an elbow drop in the corner while Sasha was holding herself up. Oh, man. Bayley hit the belly to Bayley after she went into comeback mode and tried to make a comeback. She hit the belly to Bayley. Sasha ended up kicking out. Sasha ended up locking the bank statement after that in the match. She had it in on Bayley for forever. She starts stomping Bayley's hand when she gets close to the ropes. Then Sasha kicks off of the ropes, trying to roll back into the bank statement. And Bayley counters into the freaking crossface. She had her in the freaking crossface for like about a minute, and I thought Sasha was going to tap out. Sasha ends up getting a rope break. Then after that, they freaking go up to the top rope. Bayley hits a reverse hurricanrana off the top rope, basically snapping Sasha's neck, basically. And then she hits a belly to Bayley, the second one, to finish the match, which was insane. That was a phenomenal match. Match of the year, in my opinion. It was crazy. That was the best match of the night, for sure. The rest of the matches pretty much failed. That one was insane, though. Yeah. Match of the year, for sure. If that's not a candidate, I'm going to be pissed. But that was insane. Then moving on, we had the main event, which it is what it is. Kevin Owens came out there at the starting, of course. Then we got Finn Balor coming out in the demon paint. He was like teleporting across the stage. I mean, of course, he had other people that are up there doing the shit or whatever. But I just want to know how he got the people that look like him, and they got them that much people painted. That's what I think's crazy. But the lights come back on after Balor's entrance, and Kevin Owens just sitting there in one of the chairs, one of the announcers, one of the commentators' chairs. He's just sitting there sleeping. He's sitting there just like... he's just sitting there sleeping. This match starts off with a few good back and forth moves. The crowd's chanting "Ole, ole, ole, ole" because they thought Sami Zayn was going to show up or something. So Kevin Owens ends up lifting his arm up like this, and my shoulder. That was the best thing in the night by far. Oh, my shoulder. That's Kevin Owens is a genius when it comes to being a heel. But there was so many spots in this match though. They ended up fighting out into the crowd. Kevin Owens went for a pop-up powerbomb onto the barricade out in the crowd. Finn Balor reversed it, throws him in the ring. Finn Balor launches himself over the barricade. Kevin Owens catches him, drives him into the barricade, throws Finn Balor over the announcer's table, then proceeds to throw the top of the announcer's table onto Finn Balor, then goes over, gets the ladder, turns around, Finn Balor runs off the announce table, drop kicks the ladder into Kevin Owens' face. The ladder ends up landing on Finn Balor's knee, of course injuring him in the process, so I don't know if Finn Balor's hurt or anything after that. But that was crazy. There was so many spots in this match, like I'm going to forget some. But Finn Balor full speed drop kicks Kevin Owens onto a ladder. Kevin Owens goes for a cannonball onto the ladder. Finn Balor moves out of the way. Balor is climbing the ladder. Kevin Owens pulls him off, super kicks him. There's another crazy super kick in the match. There was this spot to where Finn Balor tips over the ladder and like the ladder hits Kevin Owens in the head. There was a pop-up powerbomb onto the apron. There was a pop-up powerbomb off of a ladder onto the ground. There was the running senton onto Finn Balor on top of the ladder. There was a spot outside to where Kevin Owens set the ladder up against Finn Balor's chest and went back. He acted like he's going to do a running cannonball onto the ladder. He just ends up running up there, stopping, and then punching Finn Balor in the face. Kevin Owens is possibly the best heel ever. Speaking of heels, Seth Rollins was in the crowd tonight. But That was insane. Uh, there were so many spots. Kevin Owens set a ladder up against the other ladder and then up against the corner. And it looked like he's going to suplex him off the top of the ladder onto the ladder down there. I thought he was going to... I was hoping for a package pile driver like he did against Sami Zayn in ROH. But no, Finn Balor ends up just throwing him off the ladder. Kevin Owens ends up falling off the ladder because of the impact, which I guess they were setting up for a coup de grace on the ladder or something to finish it. But that didn't happen, of course. So Kevin Owens basically just rolled around the ring while Finn Balor acted like he couldn't get the belt, which, I mean, he obviously could. It was a terrible finish. Finn Balor ends up hitting the stupid coup de grace from the top of the ladder, and then he just climbs the ladder and wins the match. It was a god-awful finish. I mean, I was so freaking pissed off. I don't even know what to rate the pay-per-view after that ending. Because the pay-per-view is going to be incredible if it had a good ending. That coup de grace onto Kevin Owens while he was laying on the ladder would have been a good ending. Especially, imagine if it would have broke the ladder. That would have been incredible. But it didn't happen. It just ended up being a coup de grace. I think Balor should have got off the ladder, went down there, laid Kevin Owens back on that ladder, and then went up and did it. That would have worked. I mean, it wouldn't have been that big of a botch if he would have just did that. But overall, it was a pretty good match. I feel like I'm forgetting a spot. God damn it. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know, I probably am, but I'm probably not going to remember it. But there were so many spots in that match. Okay, now I'm going to go back over them and basically rate the matches, and I'll rate the pay-per-view. Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger, 5. I didn't like the match at all. Vaudevillains versus Blake and Murphy, 6, just because it lasted longer and they actually had a decent length match. So I give that one a 6. Ty Dillinger versus Apollo Crews, good 6. It was an interesting match. Crews, he is doing pretty good. Baron Corbin versus Samoa Joe, I'm actually going to give that an 8. That was actually the second best match on the card, in my opinion. I'm going to give that an 8. Baron Corbin impressed me for once. I'm actually going to give him a chance now, and we'll see where that goes. If he starts doing squash matches again on NXT, then yeah, but if he doesn't, I mean, I might actually start giving him a chance. But that match was an 8. Awesome finish. That was freaking 6. Samoa Joe shoving him up into the Kikina clutch. That was crazy. Baron Corbin hitting a super kick in the match was a little lone crazy enough. But after that match, we had Sasha Banks versus Bayley, match of the year, like I said before. I'm going to give that match a solid 10 out of 10. If I could rate it any higher, I would. I mean, that was an A+ match. There was nothing bad about it at all. It was like perfect. That freaking reversal into the crossface from Bayley was amazing. I'm still surprised that Sasha kicked out the first Bayley to belly. I thought it was over there. Or belly to Bayley, whatever. But, that match was phenomenal. 10 out of 10. If I can rate it any higher, it'd actually break the scales. It'd probably be like a 15 out of 10. But, that match was insane. Then to top it off, we had Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. I'm going to give that match a 7 just because of how bad the ending was. Up until that point, it probably would have got a solid 9 or something like that. They wouldn't have botched the finish and it would have broke the ladder. It would have been a 10. But, of course, they botched the fuck out of the finish. It was, like, so bad it ruined the match, in my opinion. I mean, Finn Balor's just going to do a regular coup de grace off of a ladder, and then he's going to reclimb the ladder and win the match. It was just ridiculous. Kevin Owens shouldn't have stayed down that long from that coup de grace. If he would have broken him through the ladder, then I would have accepted Finn Balor being able to climb all the way back up there and take his time and get the belt. But that is if he broke him through the ladder, or at least if he was on the ladder when he hit the coup de grace. I mean, like, really, Kevin Owens hit a freaking pop-up powerbomb under the apron, but Balor got up after that. But Balor hits a regular coup de grace, and Kevin Owens is down. Makes no sense to me, but whatever. It was dumb. I wasn't expecting the match then there. So yeah, I'll give that a 7. Overall, the show, like I said, there were so many bad matches. Tyler Breeze and Thunder Liger was a bad match in general. The next match, the tag team match, was a bad match in general. Ty Dillinger versus Apollo Crews was a decent match. It was a little bit better than average. Samoa Joe versus Baron Corbin was a great match. It had a phenomenal ending too. Bayley versus Sasha Banks was out of this world. It was match of the year. It was insane. It goes like down as one of the best matches ever in my mind, but it was just crazy. I love that match. I'm actually completely fine with Bayley having the title. I didn't like her before because of her gimmick, but like I said, if they can wrestle, I don't give a fuck about their gimmick. If they can wrestle, that's enough reason for me to accept them as a champion. So yeah, Bayley's definitely a champion in my book. She definitely deserves the belt. I can't wait till she goes to the main roster, actually. And then we had Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. That match was a good match. It was a great match. The ending sucked, though. So overall, I'm going to give the show a... Oof. I mean, there was too many bad matches to even out that one amazing match. I'm going to have to give it a 7. The first 2 matches were 5s and 6s. The next match was, it was a 6, I think. The first 2 matches were 5s. The next one was a 6. Then you had an 8 match. And you had a 15. And then you had a 7. I'm going to round it off and say a 7. So overall, the show is a 7. I don't know if it was the worst NXT TakeOver, but it definitely by far wasn't the best. But, I mean, it could still be better than SummerSlam tomorrow, because that one women's match alone could be better than SummerSlam. I mean, come on. We've got The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, and probably what's going to be a 2-hour match. No one wants to see that. So, this show is probably tenfold better than that one's going to be. So, I mean, NXT women's match was amazing. NXT TakeOver was awesome. Watch it. And, of course,